If you've clicked on this video, it's likely that you're either married to a narcissist or you know someone who is. Recognizing the warning signs of abuse can be difficult, especially when your partner is a skilled manipulator. Their charm may even deceive mental health professionals, leaving you feeling isolated and confused. You're not alone. Many individuals find themselves in marriages with narcissistic spouses, struggling with the emotional and psychological toll it takes on them. Today we'll dive into the specific behaviors often exhibited by husbands who are married to narcissistic wives, focusing on 10 key traits that emerge in these situations. It's essential to break free from the cycle of abuse and focus on building a life of happiness and fulfillment for yourself. Number 1. Feeling trapped in an unhappy marriage. One of the most common feelings for husbands married to narcissistic wives is a deep sense of entrapment. These men often feel like they can't escape the toxic relationship. The manipulation, gaslighting, and controlling behavior of a narcissistic spouse make it difficult to leave, even when the abuse becomes unbearable. You might feel trapped because you can't figure out how to handle your wife's erratic and harmful behavior. Leaving the relationship may seem impossible due to the mental and emotional manipulation that narcissistic wives use to maintain control. It's not uncommon for you to feel hopeless, lost, and alone in this situation. Number 2. Constantly cautious and watchful. Living in a state of hypervigilance is a common experience for husbands married to narcissistic women. You might find yourself walking on eggshells, always on guard, trying to prevent the next outburst. This mental and emotional strain can take a toll on your health, leading you to feel like a prisoner in your own home. Your home should be a place of comfort, but instead it becomes a place where you must be cautious of your every word and action, fearing that one wrong move could trigger a conflict. This constant stress can lead to feelings of paranoia, leaving you emotionally drained and anxious. Number 3. Surrendering to the spouse's demands. To keep the peace, many husbands of narcissistic wives find themselves giving in to every demand. Whether it's small requests or larger, more intrusive demands, you may feel as though you have no choice but to comply. Narcissistic wives often punish disobedience by withholding affection, threatening divorce, or sabotaging finances. Living this way can be mentally exhausting, and over time you might feel like you're losing your own identity. Taking back control of your life may seem difficult, but setting boundaries and clearly communicating your needs is a crucial step toward reclaiming your sense of self. Remember, you deserve respect and autonomy in your marriage. Number 4. Trying to save the marriage by constantly pleasing their wife. When married to a narcissistic wife, it can feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells, trying to appease her and save your marriage. She may make it clear that everything revolves around her, leaving you feeling like no matter how hard you try, nothing is ever enough. You might find yourself sacrificing your own happiness, even neglecting your children's needs, in a desperate attempt to win her approval. Perhaps you buy expensive gifts, agree to her every request, or bend over backward to make her happy. However, it's important to remember that prioritizing someone else's happiness at the expense of your own is never healthy. You must reclaim your individuality and sense of self-worth. Number 5. Silent suffering. Narcissistic abuse often leaves men feeling confused and isolated. You may pull away from friends and family, fearing that no one will understand what you're going through. It's vital to remember that you don't have to suffer in silence. Opening up about your experiences can be difficult, especially when you've been conditioned to keep everything to yourself. However, sharing your feelings with trusted friends, family members, or a therapist can provide much needed support. Don't let isolation trap you in an abusive relationship. There are people who care about you and want to help. Number 6. Shouldering all the blame. Husbands of narcissistic wives often take on the burden of blame for the problems in their marriage. You might start to believe that you're at fault for your wife's abusive behavior. Narcissistic women are experts at deflecting responsibility, making you feel guilty for their actions. It's crucial to understand that you are not responsible for your wife's behavior. Narcissists often manipulate their partners into believing they are to blame for everything, but this is simply a tactic to maintain control. You don't deserve to be mistreated, and seeking help and support can provide clarity in recognizing the truth of your situation. Number 7. Seeking validation at all times. In any healthy relationship, both partners naturally seek acceptance and validation from each other. However, in a toxic marriage with a narcissistic wife, you may develop an unhealthy dependence on her approval. You might find yourself constantly seeking her validation, even at the expense of your own well-being. This codependency can be difficult to break, but it's important to recognize it for what it is: an unhealthy coping mechanism. You deserve to be accepted and loved for who you are, not just for how well you can please your partner. It's time to start prioritizing your own emotional needs. Number 8. Isolation from family and friends. A common tactic used by narcissistic wives is to isolate their husbands from family and friends. They may convince you that keeping in touch with loved ones is harmful to your marriage, or even lie to them about you, making it harder for you to seek help. This isolation can take a serious toll on your mental health. It's important to remember that connecting with people outside of your marriage is healthy and can provide a much-needed emotional release. Reaching out to loved ones can reduce the stress in your marriage and help you regain a sense of balance in your life. Number 9. Unhappiness and low mood. Living with a narcissistic wife can lead to chronic unhappiness and a constant feeling of being weighed down. You may find it hard to enjoy life or engage in activities that once brought you joy. The constant pressure, stress, and emotional turmoil of an abusive relationship can lead to depression and feelings of hopelessness. Your mental health is incredibly important. If you're feeling overwhelmed, it's essential to seek help. Don't let the abuse steal your happiness and joy. You have the right to live a fulfilling life free from constant emotional turmoil. Number 10. Suffering in secret. Many men suffering from narcissistic abuse turn to unhealthy coping mechanisms such as substance abuse, anxiety, depression, and even suicidal thoughts. Living with a narcissist can be incredibly isolating, leaving you feeling like you're facing your struggles alone. It's important to recognize that what you're experiencing is abuse. Your feelings are valid, and you don't have to suffer in silence. Reaching out for help is a vital step toward healing. Whether it's therapy, support groups, or confiding in a friend, know that support is available and you are not alone. In conclusion, living with a narcissistic wife can feel like an endless cycle of manipulation, control, and emotional abuse. But it's important to remember that you are not alone and there is a way out. You deserve to live a life filled with happiness, respect, and fulfillment. Breaking free from a narcissistic relationship may not be easy, but it's possible with the right support and resources. Reach out to loved ones, seek professional help, and remember that your life does not revolve around your narcissistic spouse. You have your own goals, desires, and a future worth pursuing. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Share your thoughts in the comments below.